We think of international competence working in different cultures. First, we look at the characteristics of international competence in students. Knowledge of the world and historical experiences of other people. These are characteristics. Can your students, can those that you're working with understand, appreciate? We realize that, and we hear all the time of people in Europe, in schools there know, 4 or 5 different languages. English is required, whether that's their native language or not, and can barely get kids to do a second language in junior high and high school. And so their world in historical experiences and knowledge of the world is probably much more to a higher level degree than most of ours. Sufficient cross-cultural skills to communicate with people from around the world. And once again, this is experiences. How much time do kids in our culture have with those from a different culture, and are they able to interact? Do they have opportunity to do that so that they can learn to communicate? Inclusive ethical citizenship and social action. The world together, working in a global society, doing some things together, even some projects. Like I said on the last slide, to maybe even partner with a school in another part of the world, and maybe even take on a project together. And inactive in building connections with others. And this can be done, like I said, through the internet, through technology, maybe networking at a conference, international conference or something like that, where you're with others from different cultures. These are all good things for helping to develop characteristics of international competence in students. And on the next slide, we'll look at how educators facilitate the development of international competence with students. As we continue our discussion from the last slide, we'll look here at how can educators facilitate international competence with their students. Well, you can teach about different global belief systems, how worldviews are different around the world, some examples, maybe even some video clips or just discussion, even reading stories, newspaper clippings, things like that, of why people do things the way they do in different cultures, something that's different from the culture that you're working in. Teach human rights and social justice. Educators can also facilitate this development by teaching about different political systems, parliamentary systems, our system of government, dictatorships around the world, and why different countries interact the way they do with different countries based on alliances and things like that, and some of the history that's gone into all of those systems and formulations. United Nations as well, and the forming of that can be very effective to help educators facilitate international competence with their students, and then also familiarize students with human commonality, that all humans deserve dignity and to be treated fairly with respect.